Imagine waking up to a world where there are no trash cans. A world where everyone just threw their trash anywhere they pleased. Eventually, the grass, plants, and even trees would vanish. Picture that as our near future. Did you know that we throw enough plastic away each year to circle around the entire Earth 4 times? That's a lot of plastic, but that can be somewhat of a challenge for people to grasp, mainly because, yes, we understand that this Earth is huge, but we can't fully put into perspective exactly how much plastic that really is. To break that down into a more relatable scale, how many of you know about the garbage patch in our Pacific Ocean that is now more than double the size of the state of Texas? For those of you who didn't know, let me say that one more time, because there is literally a pile of plastic, trash, and litter in our ocean that is the size of our second largest state in the US times 2. Let's try to put that into perspective. Let's say you wanted to take a little road trip. You would have to start from one end, drive through the entire state of Texas, and then do that one more time, and then some, just to get out of the heaping pile of plastic, trash, and litter. It's unreal. But the ugly truth is, that is our reality. So how does the plastic and litter get there? Roughly 41% of the Midwest flows into the Mississippi, which goes into the Gulf of Mexico and then joins the rest of the sea. Now, the Pacific garbage patch is just one of 5 giant garbage patches, but it's by far the largest. These garbage patches just continue to get fed by what we call gyres. Gyres are constant currents in the ocean that just continue to flow to the same spot all day long. So let's live the life of some litter, shall we? Let's say you're driving down the road, you finish a bottle of water, and you toss it out the window. First off, shame on you, okay? Don't do that, right? So you toss the bottle out the window, it lands in a ditch. A massive rainstorm comes, sweeps the bottle out of the ditch, tosses it into the Mississippi. It flows down to the Gulf of Mexico, gets caught by these gyres, and then just continues its journey to join these garbage patches until they get bigger and bigger every single day. How can we take action to stop this cycle? For starters, I think the biggest step is to please stop littering. I encourage everyone to take a look around at every stoplight, every stop sign, because I can almost guarantee you that there's some form of plastic or litter everywhere you look. And I've actually had people tell me that have ruined their lives because now the only thing they notice when they look outside is all the trash on the ground. Did you know that globally we purchase 1 million plastic bottles every minute? So for every minute that passes by, we've just pushed out yet another 1 million plastic bottles. It's estimated that roughly only 8% of everything that we recycle is actually being repurposed. So we may be trying to recycle, but these end users and recycling plants can't keep up with repurposing the amount of plastic that we consume on a daily basis. There's so much that some recycling plants don't even accept certain products anymore, and they're shipping that straight to the landfill, simply because they do not have room and they cannot keep up. The second way to take action and stop the cycle is to reduce and reuse. We need to have a better understanding on the amount of unnecessary products we consume every day, along with finding ways to reduce our use of single-use items. That can be something as simple as changing our daily habit of grabbing a bottle of water versus actually investing in reusable containers like titanium, glass, aluminum, paper products, or reusable plastic items to refill your water. Or you can purchase reusable bags rather than using the plastic bags that they hand out at the grocery store. Now, researchers estimate that it can take anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 years for some items to disintegrate, where some material, like plastic, may never decompose. At this point, we're roughly 4 minutes into this presentation. Would you care to think of a guess as to how many plastic bottles were just purchased within this time frame? You guessed it, 4 million more. Even baby steps can have a massive impact. We also need to obtain a better understanding of the damage that we're causing to our planet and wildlife. Because seeing images like this, that's heartbreaking. How would you like to crawl into your bed filled with plastic and trash every night? As we continue to trash nature, these animals don't have a say in the matter. They're just forced to live in our filth. And this is exactly what prompted me to start taking my action. I'm going to ask everyone to join in on something with me, if you will, please. But you're going to need both hands to do it. If I can have everyone take your right hand and do a thumbs down, and now take your left hand and do a thumbs up, and put those knuckle to knuckle. Excellent, looks great. So what this stands for is down with pollution, thumbs up to being part of the solution. This was something that I came up with last year when I decided to start a journey to travel to all 50 states in the US. My goal is to travel and explore the world, but as I'm exploring, I wanted to try and help preserve nature by picking up at least 2 bags of trash or more in every state that I visit. This was just my way of feeling like I was at least doing my part in helping to protect nature and wildlife. For the year of 2018, I was able to travel to and pick up trash in 24 states in under 8 months. As dirty as the job may seem to most, I can honestly say that I've captured some irreplaceable memories on just about every trip that I've taken. This here was my very first group cleanup, where I was actually off land, working with the Sugar River Improvement Association. Some of you may be asking yourselves, is that a mattress? Yeah, it most certainly is a mattress. Oh, and a fish tank too. Yeah, apparently someone thought that the fish would rather swim in the tank versus swim freely in the river. Or perhaps maybe someone thought that the raccoons and the squirrels could get a better use out of that mattress. Now, it was this pick here in Wisconsin where I confirmed that I would continue to have my main focus be on land like it had been, because that day I was reminded that water is a powerful mechanism. And once it gets its hands on something, it's going to take that something wherever it wants it to go. It was a tough battle, but the mattress did not win the war that day. So I've been to a few places at this point, and some people may tend to think that I'm a little crazy when I tell them stories like when I drove up to the Dakotas over a weekend to pick up trash and slept in a car when it was negative 10 degrees out. Or there was that time where I picked up trash in Des Plaines and collected almost an entire trash bag full of clothes, including this luxurious bra. I mean, who needs the store when you can just go right outside to pick up trash and get yourself a whole new wardrobe? One man's trash is another man's treasure, right? Essentially what it comes down to is I'm taking my action and I'm having a blast doing it. It's all about the adventure and the journey getting there. It's about the cause. Sleeping in cars, brushing my teeth in parking lots, showering in trucker stations. Those all make for some great memories that I'll never forget. Memories like the time when I drove all the way to Colorado over another weekend and picked up trash on my way up to Pikes Peak. There's nothing like picking up trash and then having a snowball fight at the top of the mountain. But I get it. Picking up trash doesn't exactly sound like the most glamorous thing to do, but it can be so much more than that. Think of the places you can see, the things you can do, all while making a difference and being outdoors at the same time. Or think of how you can help just by picking up trash right outside your front door, in your neighborhood, or just walking from your car into the store. Picking up trash doesn't have to be a job. It can be that something that gives you the feeling that you are making an impact. If we could all work together on trying to capture as much litter as we possibly can before it hits the waterways, before it floats down to the ocean and joins these garbage patches, that's how we join forces and take action. Now, naturally, I'm the type of person that if I see trash blowing in the parking lot, you better believe you're going to see me running across the distance chasing down that trash. So yeah, I've certainly picked up my fair share of random litter. But if I had to put a figure on it, the organization that I started last year has picked up roughly over 33,000 pounds of trash in under 8 months. I'm just one person, sharing a story, in hopes that maybe, just maybe, you'll find some common interests and concerns to where perhaps you want to share those concerns with 5 other people. And those 5 people tell 10 others, and 10 more. It only takes one person to make an impact, and you can be that person. But there's more than just one way for us to do our part. And I hope you can discover that the options for you to take action are unlimited. Whether you want to come out and join myself and other organizations, or if you go pick up trash on your own. Or let's say it's that you stop littering. If you don't litter, do you recycle? If you recycle, can you reduce? If you've already reduced your single-use products, can you help spread the word and encourage others to want to do their part as well? There are so many ways to make a difference. And like I always say, one person at a time, one state at a time. We can all turn things around and save this beautiful place we all call home. This planet is worth fighting for. And I'd like to challenge you all to leave a positive impact on this earth by leaving no trace behind you. I'd like to leave you today with a quote from a legend. The great Dr. Seuss himself, who created the Lorax, once said, "Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. Let's all take action and make it better." Thank you.